So you always talk about the difference between having a course that works and a course that nobody is going to actually get value from. So I wondered if you could talk a little
Mhm.
bit about that. What's the difference? What do you have to do in a course to make it worthwhile? Because I've done the same thing. I've taken recently courses where I've paid a lot of money, and then once I've taken the course, I'm like, "Oh, this is not worth the money I spent for this course."
Well, first of all, I think there's a lot of things going on there. So what I see is like, for example, if I look at some of the courses that I've taken, like when I've taken like B School or
Yep.
like DCA from Amy Porterfield or StoryBrand, right? So when I look at those things, like the reason why B School was worthless for me was because I already knew all of that stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's say you're a brand new, you don't know anything about business and you don't know anything about online marketing and you're just getting started and you don't have time to like spend a year just scouring the internet, like 5 hours a day, like learning all this, which you can
Yeah.
do. Like with B School is kind of like a shortcut version of that, right? Like they made it step by step and it's a good program for that. But my problem comes when they oversell it because Marie Forleo sells it as if this will help anyone, right?
Right.
But the
I
thing
took
is,
B
yeah, there's
school
a
too.
small. Oh, you
Yeah,
did okay.
I
Yeah,
took
so
B
there's a
school.
small market of people who are just starting out that I think who doesn't even know what a lead magnet is, who
Hmm.
doesn't even know how newsletters work, right? Who doesn't know what the difference between a sales page and a website is, right? For those people, I think it's really helpful, right? But if you're
Hmm.
gonna say like, oh yeah, it doesn't matter like where you are in your business, it can help you and blah blah blah. Like it's just not true. And I think
Hmm.
majority of the people, when you're overselling the shit out of a course like that, I think what happens is you're gonna attract a lot of people and that's why I think some of these courses I find it useless. Like I wish that she would have said in the sales page that if you already are doing this is going to be useless for you, then I
Yeah.
wouldn't have bought it, right? You
Right.
know what I mean? Like, and
Right.
and same thing with Amy Porterfield, right? Like, if she said, okay, because what I wanted to do is I wanted to learn how to make a good course, meaning how to
Yeah.
actually create a good course. But like 90% of her course was all about how to sell a course, which I already knew how to do. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I feel like I was kind of a little bit um, maybe it was misadvertised or something like that,
Hmm.
right? So that's
Hmm.
where I have that's one problem I
Hmm.
have. The second problem I have is I see also course creators. These are not like those kind of courses, but course creator that sells maybe $200 courses, a little bit lower end. But I've seen people do this with $3,000, $5,000 courses too, where they literally, at least Marie Forleo and Amy Porterfield, they've spent years to polish their course, tweak it,
Hmm.
make it better. Oh, this isn't working. So listen to their students, and it's a years of work to get it there, so that it can provide a transformation for some people. But I also see people who's never made a course before, who just knows how to do something, and quickly spend 2 weeks putting together a course and be like, here, I'll start selling it, right? Like
Yeah.
that's just not going to work because there's a difference between you knowing something and you're a teacher, so obviously,
Yeah.
and then how to transfer that knowledge to the students, right? Like
Hmm.
that's like a skill of its own, and
Hmm.
it has to be done in certain order. It has to be done with
Right.
exercises, and like there
Yeah.
are certain things that needs to be done in order to deliver that right. And they're not doing any of them. They're like, oh, this is a quick way to monetize my audience.
Yeah. And
A
sometimes they
million
have
dollar
just,
launch.
yeah, no. And I think sometimes they'll have like flashy videos. Everything looks very professionally produced, but the substance isn't there. That's what I've gotten.
Yeah, that's
And
what they think is the value, the
right.
quality of the video, the set, the
Right.
design.
Right. And I don't like if I'm teaching a college course, I could deliver a really killer course, but I am not going to have those bells and whistles as much as someone like Marie Forleo is going to have.
Yeah. Let me tell you this, like the best copywriting lesson that I've gotten is it's called the Gary Halbert letters, and it's
Mm.
free online. And when
Oh.
you look at it, it looks like a website from the 90s. It looks like literally looks like shit, right? and And yeah, so it doesn't, like, if the content is good, it doesn't matter what the packaging is, really.
Okay.